I'm going to show you some of my go-to beginner-friendly nail art looks that I'll be able to do by the end of this. We're going to start by prepping my tips here. I'm going to use some of the Apres Gel X tip prep. Now this look uses cat eye gel polishes, just some ones that I really wanted to use and that are pretty for spring, but you could do this with anything. It doesn't have to be a cat eye gel polish, but the cat eye gel polish does give a really cool look. So we're going to start with a neutral type of shade. This is called Milkshake from Coco and Claire, and it is just a creamy neutral. And then we're going to put all of the colors that we want to use down on a little palette here, go in with a second coat after that first one is cured. While it's still wet, we're just going to drop in some little dots for some different flowers, and you can put these wherever you want on your nail. It also doesn't matter if the dots are perfect or not perfect, because we're going to take a brush and we're going to kind of blend it all together. Do not overthink this at all. It is okay if it's not perfect, it's okay if it's messy, and that's why I love the look of it. Now this pink flower gave me a little bit of trouble. It just was not going the way that I wanted it to, so I'm going to go in with some bigger dots and I'm going to blend them together again after this. Now don't judge this design yet. I always say when we're working with floral designs that your greenery is really going to make everything kind of come together, and that same thing is true for this. Now I did go in with a magnet and I just kind of played around with the direction of how I wanted the cat eye to come out, and that's what's fun about using cat eye. Taking just a really fine brush, and if you don't have a brush that is this fine, you can always trim it down so that you only have a couple hairs on it. You're going to go in and you're going to create a leaf shape. Again, we are not going to overthink this. We are just going to place the color down and gently pull it up. I am not the best at making leaves, and I am okay with how these turned out. So I took my cat eye for the leaves too, and this was so fun. I liked how it gave it some really cool dimension. After it's cured, I went in and did some flakes in the center of the flower. You could use like crystals, you could use some bullion beads, you could even just use white paint in the center. That would look really good too. But I thought these flakes gave it a little bit of something extra. Always the best part, the top coat. This is where everything makes a little bit more sense and usually comes together. So this is how the design turned out. It would look really cool matte too. Our next one is this really fun look for not only spring but Easter. I love working with colors as a background that are super, super light, almost like an off-white color, and that's exactly what this green shade is. It is perfect for springtime. I'm going to go in and do 2 coats of it. A black glitter matte top coat I think of as an essential product for springtime, especially if you're wanting to create some really cool mini egg type of looks. So this one from Coco and Claire is called Mini Egg, and it is just like the fine black flecks in the mini egg look. The Quail egg one from Coco and Claire has some of the bigger flecks of it, so I actually like to use them both together on top of each other, and then I find that I get the look that I am after. Now a pro only option to a matte glitter top coat is Fuzion, and it's almost like a combination of these 2 glitter flecks but in their signature formula. So I am going to use a stamping plate on this one. This is a fantastic, very versatile stamping plate, and I picked some really nice pastel tones to go on this, more so because I was thinking like Easter with this look. I thought it would be good for an Easter look as well as a spring look, and I am just going to stamp down just the centers of these florals, and then after I have just the center stamped down, I'm going to go in with a black stamping polish and then stamp in the centers of those florals down, and that's it. I'm not going to do any outline stamping. I decided to go in with a matte top coat for this just to keep it all that matte look, and I think it turned out really good. I do think this would look nice shiny too though. This look is great because you do not have to be perfect with it at all. We're going to take a really nice light coral peachy shade, and I am just going to generally paint the line of where I want this color to be. It does not have to be perfect. You guys will notice a lot of time with my nail art that there's not straight lines and stuff, and there's a reason for that. It's because it's a lot easier to do a crooked line. After that's cured, I'm gonna take a white. Now you don't have to use a white, but you do want something that is pretty light in shade. And I am gonna do this in 2 coats, so definitely do not judge that first coat. I'm gonna cure, and I'm gonna go in with my second coat. Now I am gonna cover this up, so again, I'm not being super particular as to where my line is. If you've taken any of my workshops or you've watched my tricky nail art video, you guys know how much I love this foil gel. It works so, so good. The only thing, make sure that you are doing it in thin coats so you don't have issues with it curing at all. I decided to pick this floral foil that paired really nicely with the colors that I had chosen for this design, and I'm just trying to figure out where I want the image to go down. here. And I ended up actually just putting like the line kind of on top of the line of where I drew, and it actually worked really, really good. I pat it down first with my glove just to get it kind of stuck, and then I like to take a silicone tool and really place it down, pull my foil up, and this part here is what is going to clean up the look. You want something that is super, super sparkly but not very runny so that it's going to stay where you place it. And again, we are going to be messy on purpose here. We do not want to have a perfectly thin line. If some of the lines are a little bit thicker here and a little bit thinner in areas, it's a-okay. We are being messy on purpose because it is easier and especially more beginner friendly. Now these looks are fun to pair with a whole set of like just a peach nail or just a white floral nail. They're so, so versatile. This look here is like a glass cloud look. These two blues are some of my go-to glass and builder gels for different types of nail art. We have the light blue, which is a builder, and then the glass, which is a normal gel polish. I'm going to go in with the builder and just do one super thin coat down, and then after it's cured, I'm going to take some of these flakes. They can be whatever kind of color you want. It doesn't have to be exactly these blue type of ones. You just want something to give a little bit more depth. Then I'm going to take some of the glass gel and go right over top of those, cure that, and then put a little bit more of the flakes on top. Flakes are great because they are nice and thin for a bunch of different nail art. Then I'm going to go in and paint some clouds on top of them. So I find the easiest way to do this is to kind of make a messy triangle, and I also like using an angled brush to do this. And with clouds, if it is messy or there's some spots that are more pigmented and some that are taken away, it's okay because it just kind of adds to the cloud effect of it. So you could just stop here with these clouds. I think they look super good, but if you wanted to add some extra detailing, you could take a fine brush and just kind of outline your clouds a little bit. This part is not necessary though. And also, if you don't want to hand paint it and you enjoy stamping, grab a cloud stamping plate, because I definitely find that knowing how to create really cool cloud and sky and ocean type of backgrounds works really good for a bunch of different nail art. I also really like mixing those builder color gels and glass gels together. It gives a really cool look as well. So this next look is a really fun abstract look that it does not matter how you put it together. So we're going to take some really bright colors, but we do start with a super neutral background for it. So I'm going to use this one. It's called Cottage Core from Apres, and I have been using this a ton. It will definitely be in a favorites video coming up. I like to work off of a little palette when I'm doing these sort of looks, and I also like to work with an ombre brush, mainly because of how sporadic the brush hairs are at the tip here. You can work with fine liner brushes or anything. You mainly just want to work with your paints like super, super dry to get this kind of like brush look for it. And I also really like working with the Apres gel paints for this because they cure tack free. So I have no issues with any of the colors like bleeding when I go in and do like a matte top coat or top coat on top of it. So create any sort of abstract patterns that you want, dots, brush strokes, anything. Go in with your matte top coat, and then if you want, you could just be done here, but I decided to add a little bit of stamping. I like this modern plate because there's some really cool images on it, like this leaf here, as well as this really fun spiral that, again, if it doesn't transfer all the way, which is a-okay because it didn't in this one, you can still stamp it down. Modern abstract type of nails have no rhyme or reason, and that is what is so fun with them, and they are super beginner friendly, I find. Another go-to beginner friendly look is animal print, specifically leopard, because the messier the better. We're going to take a light color for the background. This is the gel bottle June, and it is a nice light pink shade. I'm going to go in and do 2 coats. Now, I've been having a lot of fun with cat eye and using it in nail art. So I'm going to take this color, it's called Elixir from the gel bottle, and it is a really pretty gold shade. And I am messily going to put down centers of this color, and then I'm going to use my magnet and just play around with how the magnet pulls the different colors. I'm just creating spots for my leopard print. Now, taking a black gel polish, I am just messily going to outline those spots. I like to use a toothpick for this that has a really sharp point to it. I just find it to be the easiest. I've used this my entire nail career and it works so well, but you can be as messy as you need to be with this. And I even like purposely shake my hand because I find that that just gives a more realistic type of look. But what really finishes the look is making sure that you are surrounding your spots with little dots or little clumps or little just plain open seeds, anything like that. that. It just really finishes the look, but nothing finishes the look like top coat. This is where it all comes together. Such a simple design. Now, sticking with animal print, we're gonna do some sort of zebra print here. Now, I like to do this bold of a print on top of something that is really sparkly. So I'm gonna use the Accents Gel Play Color, and I'm actually gonna blend them together because they blend together really, really nicely. You go in with one of the colors down at the free edge or the cuticle, whichever way you want to start. And then with whatever is left on your brush, you blend it down, cure it, and go in with your second color. So I picked a pink and a purple. Now these glitters are a leaf consistency, so they are a little bit lumpy and bumpy, and because I want to do some art on top of them, I need a smooth surface. So I'm going to go in with a clear gel, and then I'm just going to buff a little bit if it needs it. I actually really like hand painting zebra print, but it does take a little bit of practice, I find. It doesn't overly matter if you have a super steady hand with it, I don't find, but I don't mind stamping it either. So I am going to go in with a zebra stamp. And I think what I like about this is that I can still see the super glittery background, but there is something really bold about just having big stripes like this on top of real glitter like this. So the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to encapsulate some glitter. I like working with a see-through glitter as my background, so I'm going to take this one from Fuzion and I'm going to paint a thin coat of this down. All we are doing here is we are just getting something for that glitter to adhere to. We are not going to cure this. We're going to take a loose glitter and we are just going to place the dots or glitter, whatever it is that you've picked, right on top of that uncured glitter gel. If I'm working with loose glitters, I am always going to encapsulate and file these. So if my glitter ends up looking a little lumpy and bumpy in certain spots, I know it's going to be okay because I'm going to thin it out. So I get all my glitters down, then I'm going to take a clear gel. This one from Fuzion, it is their clear construct, is awesome. It is a little bit of a thicker viscosity than the Cocoa and Clear glass builder that I share often. And if you guys want any more tips and tricks for working with loose glitter, encapsulation, anything like that, I have some really detailed workshops that are up, and you can sign into 3 of them right away and view them. And then I have 2 of them on for a pre-sale right now. They are awesome for teaching you the ins and outs of working with a whole bunch of different nail art. So after that nail has cured in the light, we are going to remove the dispersion layer and we are going to file it. So if you guys watched my recent unboxing create video, these little files, like sanding bands, were in it, and they are fantastic for working with press-ons. They are just the perfect size for working with these smaller nail tips. After I have this shape where I want it to, I'm going to remove my dust and go in with my top coat. This is where all of that filing and everything is worth it because all of those glitters look fantastic. And if you're wondering how thick this nail is, I'm going to turn the nail to the side here, and once you master learning how to file, which is something I go over in my workshops, you can create really thin nails with loose glitter. Now, before my days of working with stamps all the time, I did a lot of kind of abstract florals like this. So we're going to start with a mint color as the background. I love mint and pink together for this, but definitely play around with the different colors that you have. Try some new colors out. I just think that for spring, mint, pinks, and white looks so good together. So I'm going to go in with 2 coats of this Marina color from Accents, and then I'm going to take 2 different shades of pink, and I'm going to take some white right beside it and just kind of blend them together. I'm not going to fully mix them because I want the marbled look of it for the florals. Go with a dotting tool and just place your colors down on the nail here. Basically, you're just trying to make little blobs that somewhat resemble florals, and because you have that marble color as the colors that you're working with, it doesn't overly matter how you put these blobs down. Again, we're going to go in with some green to kind of fill in some greenery, and that is going to clean up any of the looks here. For your greenery, just take a really fine brush like this, put your main color down and just drag your brush through. That's the way that I have found to make the easiest leaves, but leaves is something that I could definitely practice a little bit more. That said though, this design is supposed to look messy and a little abstract, so don't overthink it. Now, something that I find really cleans up any sort of greenery is adding just a hint of sparkle while your gel is still wet. So I'm going to go in with one of the Accents Play colors in a green shade and just drop it in that wet gel. It kind of marbles out, but because it is pretty thick and it is like a leaf consistency, it does generally stay where I put it and just adds a little bit of extra dimension to this greenery. This is another design that looks really good matte, but I am going to make it shiny. So if you guys try this out and you make it matte, definitely tag me because I would love to see it, but the messier you are, the better with this look. Rose quartz nail art does not have to be tricky, and I'm going to show you an easy way to do it. So we're going to take some milky gel polish colors or builder colors, and these are two pinks from Fuzion Fortify. They work great for this. And you also want a milky white, either gel polish or builder. If I had the Fuzion one, I would definitely use it for this one, but I'm going to use the accent one just because I do want to give it a little bit of extra depth. So I'm going to take the pinks down just straight from the bottle color here, and then after I have them kind of messily put down, I'm going to take again with an ombre brush some of that white milky color, and I'm also going to marble in some of the pink colors as well. And all you're really going for here is just to have a milky look of the three different colors. Don't overthink it, just kind of let the brush lead its way. I love adding little gold flecks with rose quartz, so I'm going to take some of these ones from the gel bottle, but you could use gold foil too. That works really well. I don't want very much of these though, so I'm actually working off of the outside of the container because I just want to grab the smaller pieces, and with these type of leaves, they stick to the brush like crazy. So if you only want a little bit of it, this is what I have found to be the easiest way to get it. You do want to do a matte top coat over this because we are going to work with some alcohol inks. I'm going to work with the Cocoa and Claire White, which is a very pigmented art ink. So I like to work with both alcohol and acetone when I'm working with inks. And again, my workshops dive into working with these type of mediums a little bit more and give you more as to what I am doing here. But essentially, I'm putting some of the alcohol down on the nail and blending out the white. And if you put down acetone, it's going to remove a lot of the pigment. But if you use alcohol, it's going to blend it a little bit more. So I just work until I'm happy with the outcome here. And you can do art inks in multiple layers. You can go multiple different directions. You don't really have to have a rhyme or reason for this part of it. But essentially, I'm just going for some areas that are a milky art ink and some that are a little bit more bold. Then I'm going to top coat it, and this design is complete. You could do this matte as well. It looks stunning matte, but ultimately we're building lots of layers. So these are the 10 designs that we came up with. I hope it gave you guys some inspiration for working with different nail art mediums, but also something that is a little bit more beginner friendly. Comment below, let me know which one was your favorite and what sort of videos you want to see next from me.